This was hard to watch as the Cleveland Cavaliers beat the 16-win Charlotte Hornets by 7. But that doesn't tell the full story. The Cleveland Cavaliers went on a big run early in the game, but proceeded to have an absolute meltdown. And it was one of the most embarrassing wins that I think I've watched in a while. A win is a win. Maybe I'm too negative, but it's not just me saying these types of things. We're going to talk about today's victory here at Cavs Digest. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Just one quick word from today's sponsor before we dive into today's game. But before we get into all the news today, let me tell you about today's sponsor, Kalshi. When you use the link below and join Kalshi and use partner code DIGESTNBA, you'll get $20 when you trade off your first $100. Let me tell you more about Kalshi. It's the largest prediction market in the U.S., and on their platform, you can use yes or no on real-life events, sports, elections, news, and pretty much everything. And whether you're in California, Texas, or Cleveland, Kalshi is live in all 50 states. For sports fans, you can trade on game outcomes, playoff chances, or player performances, all on a regulated market where you can cash out anytime. I'm sure you guys are keeping up with the NFL playoffs. You can predict who you believe is going to win the NFL big game right now. Go to Kalshi and trade yes or no on whatever team you believe is going to win it all. How about the NBA? You can predict unique things such as who is going to be the blocks per game leader. Literally everything that you can think of. Stats, predictions, all that stuff you can predict on Kalshi. Things such as blocks per game leader to end the season. That's how unique Kalshi is. It's genuinely just a smarter way to use your sports or news knowledge, and you can close positions whenever you want. Download Kalshi with the link in the description. Don't forget to use code DIGESTNBA to get your $20 bonus, and thank you once again to Kalshi for sponsoring this video. So thank you so much to our sponsor, Kalshi. Now let's talk about what we witnessed today in the game. So, as I said, the Cleveland Cavaliers beat the Charlotte Hornets by a score of 94-87. At one point in the game, the Cleveland Cavaliers went on a 28-8 run. They looked to be very, very dominant against a team that they should beat. No doubt in my mind, this team should not be losing to the Charlotte Hornets at all. But nonetheless, they didn't play the best. Now, they were dominating, as I said, and then they had a complete meltdown. This team this was just a gross basketball game. It was just very, very poorly played. It wasn't entertaining. They treated it like it was an NBA Finals game. I know it's like Rivals Week or whatever, but oh my goodness, what are you talking about? Like, the game looked like no one wanted to win. It was a really, really hard watch. As I said, the Cleveland Cavaliers 28-8 run. Then they just have an absolute meltdown, and I'm just like, what am I watching? Like, this possession alone tells just a small story, just 2 missed layups. And then look at the Hornets. It looks like they're celebrating the made three by Tyrese Proctor. The Hornets are celebrating the opponent making the three-pointer. Are we serious? That's what the game was like today. But there were some positives to it, and that's kind of what I want to talk about as well. I don't want to just focus fully on the negatives. There was some negatives, but actually there was a lot of negatives. But I was really, really impressed by the team's rebounding performance, specifically Dean Wade. I think that he rebounded the ball very well. He had a nice block in the game that I liked seeing. Him at the small forward spot does add this sort of size that Cleveland doesn't quite have, or it just doesn't really have in general when like Jarrett Allen's out. So you have Dean Wade who can rebound, Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen. We'll go into the box score and be able to kind of dive more into that. But the Cleveland Cavaliers rebounding has been a little lackluster with Jarrett Allen nonetheless. You can kind of see just the box score alone for them. Dean Wade, 9 rebounds. Jarrett Allen, 9 rebounds. Evan Mobley, 14. That's what you want to see. And off the bench, Naquan Tomlin. He's been a stud, crashing the glass. He's been very, very aggressive. I've loved seeing him crash the glass completely. And you see it, again, he crashes the glass well and had just a good rebounding performance alongside Dean Wade, Jarrett Allen, Evan Mobley, who all rebounded the ball well. So good for the Cavs on the rebounding side. Of course, I wouldn't even say that they deserve this win because let's look at LaMelo Ball. Look at the bottom. 1 for 15. Are we serious? 1 for 15. So the Cavs are kind of handed the win because the Hornets' best player shot 1 for 15, 0 for 10 from 3, and had a generational stinker. So that was just embarrassing alone. So yeah, LaMelo essentially kind of threw, but nonetheless, the Cleveland Cavaliers, as I said, pulled it away. I think, as I said, the biggest thing I want to talk about right now is Dean Wade because he's been one of the most iffy players with Cavs fans. A lot of Cavs fans really, really like Dean Wade, but the other half kind of thinks that he should be a valuable trade piece at the trade deadline for those looking for a defender that can stretch the floor, for those who are looking for a guy that can use some size that can also stretch. Of course, I showed you the box score. He didn't score much. He doesn't look like he has a really confidence in his offensive game right now. And that is something you really want to look forward to as the season continues. Because when the trade deadline comes up, Max Strus might be healthy, and you got to kind of see where you want to play these forwards. Especially with, you have Larry Nance, you're not really going to play him. You have Naquan Tomlin, who's been getting quality playing time. You have Dean Wade, you have Max Strus, you have DeAndre Hunter, you have Jalen Tyson. You have small forwards who have stepped up to the plate and have performed. Specifically being Jalen Tyson, but Max Strus was a long-time starter, was a starter throughout the whole playoffs last year, the year before, was a valuable piece that they acquired from the Miami Heat, and now he's battling injuries. I think due to his inconsistency, you might want to see Dean Wade get more playing time than Strus, or want to stay on the roster over Strus, but you know Strus has more upside on the offensive side, so it just depends on what you want. Just when you look at Dean Wade, like, his scoring just is never going to be there. It never has been there for us. It was there at points a couple years ago, but right now, it's just not there. And it is really, really concerning that he just lost all of his confidence in his shooting ability, but he gained rebounding and shot blocking. So it depends on just what you want from your small forward, power forward. It's also a lack of confidence from when you look at his field goal shooting too. Like, when he does shoot the ball, it just has to be a confidence thing from him. And that's what really, really concerns me. But as I said, I was really, really proud of seeing his rebounding. Wrong box score. This is the box score. The Hornets box score. I showed that already. But when you see 9 boards, that's what I really like to see. It's just 4 points, 27 minutes. You wanted to see Jalen Tyson, Max Strus put up more quality scoring at the small forward spot, especially without Darius Garland. You don't really need more size versus you need someone that can control the ball. You need a ball handler. And with Lonzo Ball being a DMP almost every game at this point, it seems as if having a guy that can handle the ball is better than having someone who has size. So Jalen Tyson, I would love to see Craig Porter start in that spot, which is really, really good. But instead they started Jalen Tyson, which is fine. I just really would like to see a ball handler in the situation, especially when you are missing one of your best ball handlers. This is also another tweet that I saw. Yeah, this tweet definitely sums up, like, I guess the full season, but today alone, kind of, this is a separate, like, just scenario where this team, of course, we know Garland and Merrill are hurt. We've accepted that Garland and Merrill are hurt, but, like, Lonzo Ball, that trade, we look back. Okay, I'm not going to talk about Lonzo Ball. I'm going to talk about the trade. I'm done talking about Lonzo. I'll talk about the tweet. This tweet sums up today's game. It also really sums up, like, in general, the season. It's really, like, there have been injuries, but my problem is Atkinson and Altman and Gansey just kind of look so lost when players get hurt. Like, let's just test out 42 different starting lineups in 32 games, when they could just find something that works and stick to it. And it seems like they play differently every single game. Like, it doesn't seem like these shooting numbers, like, what are we talking about from both teams? This was a brick fest from both teams. I mean, 8 for 20, 6 for 13, 6 for 17, 1 for 9 from 3, 2 for 8 from 3, 0 for 4 from 3, 0 for 2 for 3, 1 for 6 from 3, 1 for 4 from 3. Like, what are we doing? This 0 for 10, 1 for 2, 1 for 4, 0 for 5. Like, this was a brick fest. And the Cleveland Cavaliers couldn't capitalize on the LaMelo Ball shooting 0 for 10 from 3. They did capitalize, I guess. Okay, they did, because they won the game. But, like, other than Dean Wade's rebounding, I genuinely couldn't find anything positive to talk about with this game, even though they won. I guess now they're back up to the 5 seed. They got killed by the Thunder on Monday. But when this team gets hurt, they just seem like they give up, that they don't want to be there anymore. It's really, really bad. And it has Cavs fans just fired up and pissed, as pissed as I am watching that disgusting win. It was a hard watch, but nonetheless, they got the win. Let me know how you guys feel about that game below. How you guys feel about the season so far. Like this video. Share this video with your friends. I'm at Palange. Thanks for joining me here on Cavs Digest.